Welcome to part 4 of the Dream Home build. If you are just now joining us, we are in the middle of framing and we had just gotten the house dried in and ready for windows. Now a small disclaimer. In the following clip, I'm going to be explaining how to install the windows, but these instructions were given to me by the sales rep who supplied the windows. Let me know down in the comments what you think about these instructions. So after flashing the window opening, we'll locate the top of the window, which has this pre-installed flashing rain drip, which in this case sounds a little damaged, but it's just plastic. And so these have these flanges that pop out, and what we're going to do is we're going to screw, not nail, just screw them into the house, into the sheathing. Probably just one screw every 8 inches or so, maybe one here, one here, one here. Get all 4 sides, level it out, and then flash it. And when we flash it, we need to make sure that the flashing tape gets applied at a 90 degree. So kind of like fold it into the corner here. That way it's not just flat on here, but also covers over this edge here and protects this little groove from accumulating water, which will inevitably find its way somewhere else. Flash the sides first, and then we flash the horizontals. That way the progression of water as it goes down with gravity finds its way away from the house. And 6 inches on both sides, right? Mm-hmm. Do you need chims? Put the pencils first. ¿Ponerle tornillo aquí? What you're seeing here is a double casement window, but if you notice, it's just 2 separate casement windows attached together. And this is called a mullion window, where multiple individual window units are attached together in a structural way. One unique thing about these mullion casement windows was that they came with these metal straps that needed to be attached to the window frames. These would then allow us to nail or screw the metal strap to the window frame itself, like the wooden frame, for additional support. You can see an example of a strap that's been nailed in right here. And eventually everything's going to get covered up with a windowsill.
Súbela ahí en el caso. Here. Oh. Lewat el drill.
Choosing windows for your house is a pretty big deal, and it doesn't really help that there are so many options out there. So let me break down the steps that we took to determine what to choose. First of all, we wanted our windows to be operational and functional. I feel like some houses these days, new houses, they get built with a bunch of windows. They're just fixed, not operational windows, and they look cool, but then people just end up covering them up with curtains. And it reminds me of this episode I saw on the Build Show, I think with Matt Reisinger, where he had these two designers talking about minimalistic, utilitarian theory about building small homes. And one thing they mentioned is people make the mistake of installing all of these windows, and then they end up just covering them up with blinds or curtains because they end up being too hot, they end up being too cold, they end up letting in too much sun. And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, what if we put windows only where they need to be, and we are very conscious about where these windows are and what they will, do throughout the year, winter, summer, whatever. That really got me thinking. For instance, why would I want a bunch of windows on the north side of this house if all we can see is the immediate neighbors from that side? Or, for instance, leveraging light in rooms that you really need it. For instance, your bathroom. You want privacy in your bathroom, but you also want lighting so you can see yourself in the morning when you're getting ready. Or another one in this case, where we live, is your south side of the home. Typically, the south side gets heated the most. So if you have a ton of windows there, you're going to get a lot of light, but you're also going to experience a lot of heat, and you're going to pay a lot of money for your cooling bills. And so as an example, this is why on the south side of our home, we only have these small square windows, and their only purpose is to let in light during the day. It's kind of an eye level or higher, so it's giving you privacy, but letting in a lot of light. While, for instance, on the west side of the house, we have a lot of windows. And the reason for that is because we have a nice view, we have the field, and it's an amazing view when the sun is setting, and you get to enjoy that from either the bedroom, the living room, or any of the other rooms in the house. We also went with casement windows, which are the type of windows that open side to side like this. They've got a little lever that you turn and the window opens. And the nice thing about these ones is you can hyper extend them and get to the exterior part of the window for cleaning, which is really cool because nobody wants to get up on a ladder to clean their windows from the outside. The other, I guess, more interesting thing about them, or strange thing, is that the safety screen is on the inside of the window inside the house. That can be nice because the screen doesn't get all dusty from the outside. But it can also be a little bit annoying sometimes because for some reason the kids just absolutely love to run right into those screens. So there's that. Hopefully the screens will outlive that. Now finally, windows tend to cool and heat a lot because of the sun, the weather, and all that. And so why not get windows that are constructed out of a frame that has the same thermal expansion properties as the glass itself? So this is why we went with fiberglass windows, made by a company called Marvin, and then the lineup itself is called the Essential series, which means that basically the exterior and the interior frames are made of fiberglass. The theory there is, again, the expansion properties match up, and you basically have a maintenance-free window for hopefully a very long time. I will say though, our sliding patio doors are not the Essential lineup, they are the Elevate, which means they're still fiberglass on the outside, on the exterior, but they're wood on the interior. So it'll be interesting to see how the sliding patio doors live up against the complete fiberglass construction of the Essential lineup. Now I will also say, even though the Marvin Essential windows are sort of on the lower spectrum of Marvin's offerings, don't get me wrong, their Marvin windows are still, I would say, a couple of levels above a lot of the typical windows you see installed in homes around our area anyway. So you're still getting pretty good windows with Marvin, even like at their lower level. Well, that's about it for this week's video, so we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.